But we're back from spring break. That's why there wasn't any episodes last week. How was your spring break, Gus?
It was all right.
Good?
It was all right.
It's good. Me too. I just had to work. But, you know, whatever, making that money.
Yeah.
But most importantly, March Madness is here. All right? Best time in the sports era, time, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's great. The first game is Duke and North Dakota State.
Or North Carolina Central, based on the first four.
Is this is that? We all know Duke's gonna.
Duke's gonna win. I don't even need to explain why they're gonna win.
We just move on.
Zion Williamson is a god.
Not even just him, just the whole team, man.
RJ Barrett struggled a bit, but I mean Zion gets it done. So, on to the next one.
We have VCU and UCF.
I just want to say this is all on the east side of the bracket, so just a heads up. I chose UCF with the upset over VCU because Taco Falls, 7'6" or 7'7".
That's young.
He's been a beast. He dominated in the American Conference, especially in the tournament. He showed up in big times, averaging 20.5 points per game. So
that's pretty good.
He showed up. I mean, and plus he's 7'7". How?
Yeah, you can't guard that.
I see. It's an undersized VCU team. They're super fast, but I don't think they'll have the height to beat them.
We'll see. I mean, it might come out close. We never know.
Every game might come out close. Yeah, it's March Madness.
But next game we have Mississippi State and Liberty.
Mississippi State.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Got a whole bunch
of ranking.
They got a whole bunch of shooters too. I mean,
that's all the game is now, is shooting. So.
I mean, but that's what they mainly pride themselves on, kind of like Auburn, who won the SEC tournament. Just they can get open shots and just finish. So.
Kentucky should have won. Stupid.
Didn't even make the final.
Yeah, I know. Virginia Tech and St. Louis. I'm gonna go with St. Louis on this.
First big upset, St. Louis Billikens, which is I think it's like a goblin or something. But won the A10 championship, which was super impressive, and beat VCU.
So they have a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah, beat Davidson, I'm pretty sure. So they're super solid right now. I got them with the upset.
Maryland and Temple. Temple's always in the tournament. They're just right. They're just a few hours away from you.
Or even Belmont in that first four too, with going against Temple. Belmont's super solid. They got a lot of height. You know how to move the ball. They're super good defensively.
As a team, that's all you can do.
Temple, just like Mississippi State, another good shooting team, and I think they'll probably get the win over a Maryland team, who struggles.
I like Temple too. The next game is LSU and Yale. LSU. A great team this year.
I don't know.
Defensively.
Ivy League schools looking pretty scary out here. I'm being real. But I got LSU. I got LSU for sure.
It's a no-brainer. Louisville and Minnesota.
I got Minnesota over Louisville.
Upset.
And the big headline over this game is Rick Pitino's son coaching Minnesota, going against a team that fired his dad, and whose dad's suing. So.
Wow.
I think Richard Pitino is going to want to get revenge on Louisville for what they did to his dad. So. I see Minnesota coming in with vengeance.
Dude, hopefully there's not like a fight or something.
There probably won't.
No technicals and stuff.
I think it's just between him and the college.
The next game is Michigan and Bradley.
Michigan.
Who is Bradley?
I don't know.
Wait, what? I don't know. I have a friend named Bradley, but.
Michigan's gonna dominate.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I mean, Jordan Poole is way too good. I mean, I see this team going possibly Elite Eight. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, they're always a good underrated team that goes far.
Yeah, they always do well in the tournament, so I'm looking forward to them. Moving on to the south side of the bracket. Virginia versus Gardner-Webb.
Gardner-Webb?
No.
No.
Kyle Guy,
Virginia, yeah.
Jerome or Ty Jerome and Hunter. The solid trio right there, all great shooters. Struggled in the ACC tournament, which scared me.
But it's not surprising.
I mean, they lost to FSU, which was disappointing, but
it happens.
It does.
They might
it's
show
the
up in
ACC.
a big dance. But last year, they got upset. So.
Next game on the bracket is the 8 and 9 seed Ole Miss versus OU.
I'll take OU in that.
Yeah, I got OU.
Team this year.
They've had their downfalls this year, but it was mainly due to an injury of their point guard, which I think
that's the
now that he's back, I think they still got
great
a chance.
Going into it. Wisconsin and Oregon. Oregon is winning this game. Oregon's winning. That's the upset of the South.
That's the one I kind of disagree with. I got to go with Wisconsin. I don't think Oregon really hasn't proven to themselves that they've been a good team. I mean,
no, we'll see. I really like Oregon's team.
They don't even have Bobo anymore. He's injured. So, I don't know.
They're still in the tournament without him.
Kansas State versus UC Irvine. Kansas State.
Kansas State's a good team this year.
Kansas State's just too nice. But they don't have Dean Wade, which, kind of scares me for them because he was definitely their main scorer. He's a veteran. Pretty sure it's his senior year. Yeah. So
his experience helps him win.
I mean, he might be out for the game, and he's wearing a boot, so it's not really looking good for this Thursday.
We'll see.
Villanova versus St. Mary's. St. Mary's with the upset.
They're hooping this year.
St. Mary's dominated Gonzaga in the championship, which is super impressive. A Gonzaga team.
Yeah.
Gonzaga team that has probably Player of the Year, as we said in one episode, Rui Hachimura, beat Duke. I mean,
they've beaten all the top teams,
which is super impressive. So
that's also on the regular season.
So St. Mary's beating them by I think 18 or 16. That showed to me that they're not a team.
They're scrappy. They're hungry.
And we saw 2 years ago they played super well. I remember the dude with he was all decked out in gear. I forgot who his name was, but
he's a hooper. That's all that matters.
He was a hooper. So it's good to see them back. Team I'm kind of rooting for is Purdue. Shout out to my family, but Purdue versus Old Dominion. I got Purdue.
Who's Old Dominion?
I've
never heard of that school. God, there's so many schools I haven't heard of.
Old Dominion. I forgot who they were. I know their football team got a win over Houston or something like that. But yeah, I mean we got Purdue. Yeah, let's be real. It's the Big Ten champs, regular season champs at least. So
next game is Cincinnati and Iowa. Cincinnati is underrated. They're a good team in the tournament.
They did beat Houston pretty badly in the championship, which kind of scares me because I'm also kind of rooting for Houston. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. Iowa's got a lot of good shooters. They've shown that their big men can do pretty well in the post. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I go with Iowa, but you got Cincinnati. Tennessee Colgate.
Tennessee.
Okay, next one.
Next one.
All right, moving on to the West. Yeah, we got Gonzaga versus FDU or PV. Gonzaga. I mean,
another game.
I'm calling
scratch off.
Rui Hachimura, 28 points.
That's pretty good.
I'm calling
top 5 pick in the draft.
Nah, I think top 15.
Oh, wow. Syracuse and Baylor.
I got Syracuse. I mean, they've had their ups and downs, but they've shown that they can get quality wins against quality teams.
I mean, Baylor, they haven't shown.
We've seen Syracuse beat FSU. We've seen them beat Duke. We've seen them beat North Carolina.
A lot of big names.
I know. Those are all huge names, too. So I got them
They're
for sure.
scrappy and hungry. That's all you need in the tournament. Marquette, Murray State.
I like Marquette. Marcus Howard, obviously, I was rooting for him this year.
Even you said the player of the year, maybe.
Maybe. But they've been – okay, so here's the thing with Marquette. They've been on a 4-game skid or 5-game skid now where they've lost 5 in a row. They've struggled. I got Murray State with the upset. Ja Morant's going to have a huge game.
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Score, yeah, that's – I don't know. I picked Murray State, too.
Leading the country in assists, though.
I agree, but
most double-doubles.
Marquette is, striving and, really hungry for that win, so – I
don't know. I think Ja Morant's going to get a triple-double. I'm going to call it. He's a top 3 pick in the draft.
It's going to be one of those close games where it's going to come down to
and this is going to be the statement game for Ja Morant if he wants to be a top 3 pick in the draft.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a big performance from him. Florida State versus Vermont. Vermont's a really solid team. I don't really see them beating Florida State.
Florida State's, they've beaten so many teams, as we said before.
Just beat Virginia in the ACC tournament. So, I mean,
they're on great momentum right now.
Yeah,
a lot of confidence in their team.
I mean, pretty clearly, Florida State there. A team that I see making it pretty far in the tournament, Buffalo versus Arizona State or St. John's. I would want, if St. John's played against them, I might go with St. John's because they got a lot of great shooting. Just super good passing. I mean, they're a solid offensive team. They just struggle defensively, which
is a problem.
Yeah, which is a huge problem.
You got to do it.
Especially against a big Buffalo team where, they got shooters, they got height, they got everything. So I got to go with Buffalo.
Next game, Texas Tech and Northern Kentucky. Texas Tech is a nice team this year. I mean, they've been pretty good the last 3 years.
In my opinion, they should have just won the Big 12 outright, but that's just me. But, yeah, Texas Tech definitely going to dominate North Kentucky.
Even though North Kentucky is an all-right little school, I mean, playing okay.
Okay.
They might beat them. I don't know.
We have another disagreement here on this next one, 7 and 10 seed. 7-seeded Nevada versus 10-seeded Florida.
Florida, I'm sorry.
I got to go with Nevada. I've been hyping Nevada all up.
I know.
This whole year. I don't think I've gone an episode without hyping them up. Like I said, Jordan Caroline, he's been balling out. I'm pretty sure he's averaging like 19 per game. Martin's twins, they're playing
Like
pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're playing really well. So I got to go with Nevada over Florida.
But Florida's always in the tournament. They're that experienced team. They always have the experience, and they're always that team
But
that's like
you also got to
hit
think
the dagger on you.
You also got to think 4 of their starters left last year. So this is going to be a new team.
Okay, this actually might be a pretty good game to watch too.
Last one on the west side is Michigan, Montana. I got Michigan.
Michigan, they're a great team defensively.
Surprised they got a basketball team in Montana. That's weird.
Out there in the yee country.
Yeah. But North Carolina versus Iona on the Midwest side. So we're going Midwest here.
North Carolina, Luke May, lead them again. Just don't beat Kentucky, okay?
Same bracket, same side of the bracket too. So it might happen.
Yeah, hopefully not. I was crying that day. I was crying.
At least you didn't lose in Northern Iowa. But next one we got is the 8-seeded Utah State versus number 9-seeded Washington. I got Utah State.
I want Washington. Even though you say, like, wow.
Utah State has played insanely well. They've beaten quality teams. I think they gotten 3 wins over Pac-12 teams. So I have a good feeling they'll destroy Washington. And Washington hasn't really played anyone. So,
yeah.
I mean.
They might show up. So I'm always a guy for the underdog upset.
Yeah, I mean, who isn't? Let's be
Yeah.
real. Unless your team is the favorite.
Yeah.
But
next game is Auburn and New Mexico. Auburn, obviously the SEC champions.
SEC tournament champions. So, I mean, I got to go with them. And they didn't just beat Tennessee. They destroyed Tennessee.
Yeah, destroyed. And Tennessee's, not a great team anymore, but they're obviously.
We've been saying this all year. Tennessee's not a team to make it to the Final Four.
I know. I said a lot that they're good.
They definitely showed, with the huge win over Kentucky. Grant Williams definitely balls out. So can Admiral Schofield, who showed that he can be a deadly shooter from beyond the range and get the ball to everyone. Right. So I'm looking forward to seeing a matchup. Hopefully.
The next game, number 6 seed Iowa State versus Ohio State.
Iowa State played really well, won the Big 12 championship tournament against Kansas and destroyed Kansas. But
Kansas always chokes, man. I'm telling you.
Ohio State's been on the rise lately. I mean, there's not really much to say between these two teams. I don't really see them making it far.
No, but it's a good first round matchup.
Iowa State showed that they can somewhat be strong, but I got Ohio State for sure. But
another big name is Houston.
It's Houston against Georgia State.
Yeah.
A Georgia State team that's coached by R.J. Hunter's dad still. If you remember R.J. Hunter from, game winner against Baylor a couple years ago.
One of the best moments
in NCAA history. But I don't see them making the same move here. Let's be real.
It's Houston.
Houston's obviously. I see Houston making it super far.
They play defense.
Yeah, Brooks has showed up to be a really good player, and so has a couple of their other players, big men. But
so I guess the next game,
Houston,
what is it?
For sure. Wofford versus Seton.
Yeah, Seton
Hall. So another disagreement here. He's got Seton Hall. Solid team, I mean.
They're great.
They showed that they could play really well in the Big East tournament, making it to the final, of course, against Villanova, but losing.
I think they could beat them.
Big East wasn't really that strong this year. Wofford has been ranked this year for the first time ever in school history, playing at a whole new level of just great. I mean, I got to go with Wofford here.
Yeah. I'm just going to go with Seton Hall.
South Carolina represent for Wofford, yeah. And Kentucky versus Abilene Christian for our last
question.
pick.
All right.
It's only right if we end off with Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky, hey. But if we lose, I'm not. That's the end of me on the show, all right? I said it right now.
You're willing to?
Yeah. I'm willing to cut off my contract and not get paid anymore.
You weren't getting paid to begin with.
Yeah.
But they're playing, Texas Abilene Christian, which is,
I mean, that's kind of cool. I mean, it's down the road.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm happy for them. But
it sucks it's in Jacksonville, so we can't go watch the game.
What sucks is they're going to get destroyed by Kentucky.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, that's it for
that concludes
our
round of 64 March Madness.
Make sure to tune in for round of 32 predictions coming up soon.
Yeah, coming up tomorrow.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. We'll let y'all know, but our social media should be out there around the screen somewhere. I'm Jackson Davis. That's Tyler Gus. This is game day every day, man. We'll catch you in the next one.